Good morning, Your Excellency, President Gabuza, Deputy Secretary of State Negroponte, Congressman Payne, Chairman of the Africa Subcommittee, thank you very much for coming today, Minister Querinera, Minister Zacharias, and members of the delegation from Mozambique, Undersecretary Jeffrey, the new State Department's Undersecretary for Economy, Energy, and Agriculture, Assistant Secretary Fraser, Ambassador Panganay, and distinguished ambassadors, MCC Board Member Alan Patrikoff, former Congressman Jim Colby, friends of Mozambique. Today we gather to witness and celebrate the signing of an almost $507 million compact between the Republic of Mozambique and the Millennium Challenge Corporation. MCC's compact with Mozambique is our 6th in Africa and our 12th overall. And I really do think this is something to celebrate with our great friends from Mozambique. It's a tremendous achievement. I commend the incredible efforts of the Mozambique and MCC teams, led respectively by Emilia Muchanga and Stephen Gall, who have worked with diligence and determination to reach this compact. As a new and innovative approach to development assistance, the Millennium Challenge Corporation is committed to helping countries help themselves overcome barriers to poverty reduction and economic growth. We are fulfilling the mandate given to us by the U.S. Congress when they created the MCC in 2004. And only with Congress's support for sufficient funding will MCC be able to continue to fulfill our mission throughout the world. MCC is a bilateral American program. Our grants are rewards for countries that are doing the right things for the right reasons. MCC rewards good government, good governance, countries that invest in their people and provide economic freedom. All of this being the foundation upon which we can build programs for the reduction of poverty and sustained economic growth and create stability and security. MCC's mission is grounded in partnership with countries willing to undertake the often difficult political and economic work and policy reforms that are necessary, willing to build their capacity to lead their own sustainable development, and willing to deliver results where they matter most, to the lives of the poor. It is important to pause and think about this for a moment. Mozambique and all of our MCC partner countries have made a tremendous effort to become eligible for MCC funding and to persevere with those efforts to remain eligible. Mozambique is an outstanding example of how our MCC model and how our MCC incentive effect are working in Mozambique, working in Africa, and working throughout the world. Mozambique has undergone a remarkable transformation, embracing electoral and economic reforms to sustain peace and development. The compact we signed today is part of Mozambique's own reform agenda and contributes to the country's ongoing transformation that continues to create opportunities for the poorest Mozambicans. The Mozambique MCC Compact aims to reduce poverty where it is most heavily concentrated, in the northern districts of Cabo Delgado, Nampula, Nyasa, and Zambezia. The compact will have a direct impact on the men, women, and children of Mozambique and focuses on water sanitation, roads, land tenure, and expanding opportunities for farmers. Let me briefly explain each component of the compact. The first component allocates more than $200 million to improve access to safe and reliable water and sanitation in 8 cities and towns and 600 rural villages. Mozambique suffers from one of the world's lowest of per capita water consumption, and Mozambican girls and women spend much of their day fetching water rather than attending school or engaging in income-generating activities. This program will increase water supply and sanitation services, which will expand productivity and reduce waterborne diseases. The second component directs $176 million to rehabilitating the backbone of Mozambique's national transportation network. It will improve linkages between the northern region and the country's southern half, which so far has been the driving force behind Mozambique's economic growth. The third component targets almost $40 million to reduce the time, costs, and risks associated with gaining access to land. Ultimately, this will create a climate more conducive to investment and business development, as well as increased asset values. And the fourth and final component provides more than $17 million to prevent the collapse of the coconut industry and encourage new growth opportunities in agriculture for almost 2 million Mozambicans. Urgent measures are needed to contain the spread of the coconut lethal yellowing disease, which threatens their industry, and to help farmers improve agricultural practices and diversify into other crops. Together, these 4 programs will create jobs, increase productivity, and improve the investment climate in the northern provinces. Growth and job creation are effective antidotes to poverty. Through strategic investments in areas identified by Mozambicans themselves, this plan will generate the results that both Mozambican citizens and American taxpayers expect from development assistance. President Guebuza, we recognize the far-sighted vision and firm resolve with which you and your government are leading Mozambicans. Your commitment to the reforms that replace poverty with the opportunities of growth and development will improve the lives of Mozambicans for generations to come. My colleagues and I at the Millennium Challenge Corporation are proud and honored to be engaged in this partnership with you to reduce poverty and sustain economic growth in Mozambique. It's now my distinct pleasure to invite Deputy Secretary of State John Negroponte to come to the podium. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Ambassador Danilovich. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to welcome our distinguished guests from Mozambique, including Your Excellency, President Guebuza, Minister Kweneya, the Minister of Development and Planning, other honored ministers, as well as Ambassador Pang Jen-A. I would also like to recognize Assistant Secretary Jandai Fraser, Ambassador Designate Steiger, other distinguished ambassadors, as well as the MCC board member, Mr. Alan Patrikoff. I'm also delighted to see that here today we have with us Congressman Don Payne, a good friend from my days as representative to the United Nations when he used to visit us with frequency, and my old friend Jim Colby, who has played such an instrumental role in the development and promotion and administration of both our trade and assistance policies over the years, and is now enjoying a well-deserved retirement from the Congress. And he looks a lot less careworn than he did in the days when I knew him in the Congress. I would like to welcome you all to the State Department and thank you for joining us on this important day. Mozambique and the United States enjoy a good and steadfast friendship. When peace finally took root in Mozambique in 1992, the United States directed resources to bolster development, becoming the largest bilateral donor of aid. And today, with the signing of the compact between Mozambique and the Millennium Challenge Corporation, we enter a new chapter in our dynamic partnership for development. A highlight of First Lady Laura Bush's visit to Mozambique last month was her announcement of our decision to approve Mozambique's $507 million compact. Both her visit and the development of this ambitious compact are signs of the strength of United States-Mozambique relations. As Ambassador Danilovich said, this compact with Mozambique is our 12th to date. MCC's total commitment to our 12 compact partner countries now totals close to $3.5 billion. More than $2 billion of that amount has been directed to countries in Africa. The Millennium Challenge Corporation reflects the President's bold vision for a new and transformative approach to foreign assistance, built on accountability and responsibility. It is an approach that rewards countries for ruling justly, investing in their people's health and education, and promoting economic freedom. Mozambique's diligence and determination to adopt reforms, even difficult ones, and to build the necessary capacity to qualify for MCC funding are commendable and a testament to the deep will of the Mozambican people to pull their country out of poverty and on to the path of prosperity. Through the compact to be signed today, Mozambicans will break down their specific barriers to poverty reduction and economic growth with a program they envisioned, they designed, they submitted, they will implement, and ultimately from which they will reap the benefits where it matters most, in the lives of their poor. While much of the world's attention focuses on Africa's problems, Mozambique stands as a shining example of how solutions are at work on the continent, of how progress is being achieved through a commitment to sound policies, of how the lives of women and girls are improving, and of how investments in infrastructure and land administration are creating investment opportunities which are the true engine of sustainable development and growth. We applaud the people and government of Mozambique for pursuing this path with a resolve and commitment that will bring growth and opportunity to all corners of the country, uniting the thriving South with the northern provinces, which stand to benefit considerably from the MCC's investment. I wish especially to commend the leadership of President Guebuza for his personal interest in the success of the MCC Compact in fighting poverty through economic growth. I congratulate President Guebuza and the people of Mozambique for reaching this momentous milestone in their development, and now it is my honor to yield this podium to you, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So encouraging, so friendly, and also historic, especially in the relations between our two countries. Now, doing something concrete towards development. Mr. John Negroponte, Deputy Secretary of State, Distinguished Ambassador John Danilovich, Assistant Secretary Dr. Fraser, honorable members of the government of the United States and Mozambique, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a historic day in the relationship between Mozambique and the United States. The signing ceremony of the Compact, a financial agreement between our two governments within the Millennium Challenge Account initiative, which we have just witnessed, is an important milestone in our relationship. This compact, an attendant amount of about $506 million American dollars, herald a new era in our cooperation. Indeed, it was a happy coincidence that approval of the compact for Mozambique was on the day Madame Laura Bush, the First Lady of the United States, was in Maputo bringing the message of the American people in support of our drive against AIDS and malaria. This compact in itself signals the move by this administration towards supporting us more in the construction and rehabilitation of social and economic infrastructures and in private sector development. These two sectors have a strong bearing in reducing poverty and in promoting sustainable economic growth. We are hopeful that by 2015, nearly 5.7 million Mozambicans, mainly in Zambezi, Nampula, Niassa, and Cabo Delgado provinces, will derive direct and indirect benefits from what has been agreed upon today. We are indeed very pleased with this development and would like to profit from this opportunity to, on behalf of the people and government of Mozambique, thank most warmly, through you, Mr. Negroponte, His Excellency President Bush, and the government of the United States of America for having included Mozambique, the pearl of the Indian Ocean, in the group of eligible countries to the MCA initiative. We are also pleased and proud that this inclusion is based on our demonstrated commitment, and I quote, ruling justly, investing in people, and promoting economic freedom, end of quote. I would like to salute President Bush for his many initiatives in favor of Africa and African peoples. The United States President's emergency plan for AIDS relief and the Millennium Challenge account are just two of these many initiatives President Bush has taken in favor of our continent. The process that led us up to where we are today, ladies and gentlemen, is just as important as the results we are celebrating at this ceremony. We are therefore grateful to the technical teams which worked hard to translate our common desire to cooperate together into tangible results. They worked as one team to deliver a product that will have a considerable impact in the fight against poverty we are engaged in Mozambique. By the same token, the process adopted for the development of the compact, in which the private sector, civil society, and the two governments defined together the priorities, is also to be saluted and commended. Distinguished guests, the signing of this compact today concludes a process during which partnership and teamwork prevailed throughout. Thanks to this approach, Mozambicans felt part of that process of shaping and developing the compact alongside their American counterparts. As we move into implementation, we believe that the good lessons learned so far will remain relevant in order to continue injecting the desired country ownership of the compact and mobilizing and sustaining the necessary partnership and teamwork. The government of Mozambique will continue to render its firm support to the program to ensure efficient use of available resources for its effective implementation. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. President.